Hey guys, this is just a video that I wanted to do, kind of as an update to my challenge video. I did like it was a few months ago, a 30-day challenge, I think for like inconsistencies, how I talk or communicate, I think that was mostly it. Maybe something else, but it'll come up. But I want to do an update on that, mixed with just energies lately, stuff that I'm finding out about myself. It really kind of all goes together. That's why I'm just going to mix it all together. And maybe it'll help me as I talk about it, but also maybe it'll help somebody else with what I'm going through. What I found from my challenge, which this is a few months old, but as far as the inconsistencies, for one, I have figured out about myself, and this is very much with the Gemini. I have a lot of Gemini in me. I really, on one hand, like, I've learned to love and appreciate this part of myself because you can use that to your advantage. I've just got to learn to stabilize it. Because it's so creative and there's so many things and ideas that I have that I can do with. So I don't really have kind of a bad view of this about myself. I am, for the most part, a very stable person. It's just certain things as far as like ideas or certain things with myself, especially as far as self-sabotaging things. Sometimes I'm a little inconsistent. So I kind of actually appreciate this part of myself. I also figured if most people who aren't are either very set in their ways or they're very rigid or they like things a certain way or to go their way, and I kind of make that difficult for them. So I don't really mind it for the most part. Actually, there is a way that you can utilize it. I just don't want it to sabotage myself, and that part I don't really, I want to work on it for that reason. As far as the communication goes, that's gone great. I don't have really any problem with that. Like I wanted to watch like how I talk to people, or like my husband especially, because we already kind of have a joshing relationship, but just trying to be more in that feminine receptive mode, especially in communication. And I'm not perfect on it, but I've gotten a lot better as far as that goes, and just being calmer and just more receptive, more in the feminine way. I have noticed recently though, and this is kind of where the new moon and maybe even a little bit of the full moon is coming into play, because it's became really strong when the Aquarius new moon hit around like February 4th. I mean, that's really shown a lot of stuff to me. I've had like so many ideas and so many things within myself, and kind of an illumination of things about me, especially in areas of things that I want to work on that are just really not working anymore. My Gemini really makes it hard in me. It's kind of like why my Gemini and my Taurus kind of like conflict sometimes, because Taurus is so, you know, usually one way and stable and grounded, which I am, but in other ways, which my moon and my rising is Gemini per Western astrology. So my moon is the emotional part, the part of who I, you know, really am, subconscious, things going inside. And the rising is a lot in how you present yourself to the world, how you appear to the world. So in how I would, you know, be seen by others and how I am emotionally inside, it's a very back forth, wishy-washy, conflicted type of thing. And I really don't have a problem as far as committing to something, especially when I really believe in it. But I do know that I appear that way sometimes. And I also know subconsciously that I kind of do, especially when it comes to like emotional stuff. I am finding, which has been really strong since the Aquarius new moon, that in a lot of ways, I really have commitment issues. And it really became, apparent to me when, even with stuff with this business that I'm growing, it's showing me a lot about myself. And, I'll want certain things and then I'll get it and I'll be like, yay. And then as soon as I get it, I will almost pull back for a minute. Partially because I'm trying to figure out my way and a stable way and a routine and all of that. But part of it also, and I almost go in like this shutdown mode for a minute, is when I really looked at and asked myself why, it seemed to be what I got was the responsibility of it. It's almost like my mind is playing tricks with me, and I'll want something. And this, I can see this pertaining to so many people in so many areas of their life. Men, women, dating, work, passion, whatever, where I will want it, and then when I get it, it's not like I don't want it anymore, but it's like my mind tells me that it's now something I have to do, or like I'm committed to do. It's almost like my mind plays tricks on me that I don't like my options being taken away from me. I really hope this makes sense, because like I can understand it for the most part, but I'm going to try to make sure I can communicate this in the right way. But it's almost like because now it gives me the idea that I now have to do something, or I'm committed to something. I can't do whatever I want. So my mind or my subconscious almost tells me like, now I'm stuck, or now I can't do what I want, and that I'm being made to do something I don't want to do. When in reality, that's not the truth. I do want to do it. And I could always get out of anything at any time. Like, it's almost like my mind is playing tricks on me about that I'm like giving my power away, that I don't have these options, that I'm not choosing this. It's like I chose it. I chose to have that manifest. I chose to have it come towards me. And I know a lot of people could be like, oh, well, that's self-sabotage. It absolutely is. There's many reasons for self-sabotage. Or they could say you're not worthy of it. Yeah, maybe somewhere in me believes that. And that's where that I can't keep it comes from, maybe. I think that depends on what it is. I think with a lot of things, though, it's like the responsibility of it. Because one thing I'm finding is that all of my life, I've actually always been, very stable, very responsible, very, just doing my thing. But I realized that I always had to do it. So because I had to, or I was told to, or because fear motivated me, I had to do it. And because of that, I did it. There was no choice. I felt powerless. I felt like my choice was taken away, which it really wasn't. I was choosing to do that for however it was serving me. Where now I'm kind of in a position in my life where I don't have to do certain things. I might eventually, but I'm trying to create things in the meantime before that happens. So I don't have to now. And I'm also working through a lot of things that are fear-based right now. So I see that and I'm trying not to let certain fear-based decisions, you know, dictate my life. So now I'm at this point where I'm having to do things because I want to, or because they're what's best for me. Or they're just what I should do for the best thing for me in my life, whether I want to do it or not. And this is where I'm really having, I don't want to say issues, but what I'm really working through, because I'm trying not to be in that fear-based mentality. I'm trying not to make choices out of fear or because I have to. I'm trying not to have to go back to, you know, as much of the matrix. I'm trying to come out of it. And there's a reason why it's so easy for society to keep people in the matrix. And it's because there is a certain level of convenience and responsibility and discipline that most humans do not have. It's been a long time since they had it, and it is greatly on a decline. Hopefully now it's starting to go back up with people waking up. But I realized that I have never had to strengthen my responsibility and my inner discipline and doing things because I want to, they're what's best for me, parenting myself, just even that inner child in me, like, you know, like getting upset or buckling down or wanting to have a tantrum, even though I never show it. It's in me, and it's almost like instead of me doing it to other people, because I am a Taurus sun at the end of the day. So most of the time when you have somebody who, especially their sun sign is an earth sign, they're usually very, you don't see a lot of emotion. It's very within. So most people do not see that. You might hear me communicate more. I usually show it by communication, whether I communicate more, whether I'm all over the place, or whether I don't communicate at all. But really having to kind of like parent that part of me and work on my responsibility and keep stepping through. And even though parts of me want to shut down, like the Taurus, having to like really just, it's all right, and open back up and make little steps. And I get so many ideas that it also bogs me down, and then I don't know what to do. Which one do I pick? I don't have time for them all. So having a hard time deciding on that, because like so many kind of creative ideas also come to me. But I just realized, I'm like, you know, this really kind of shows that underneath it all, I really have, you know, commitment issues. And most people who have commitment issues have responsibility issues, discipline issues. And it's just like something that I'm choosing. I'm really having to watch my mind on this, because it's really kind of like, oh God, you know, I mean, this is with like my business that I'm building. This is with relationships even. You know, I just have to really watch my mind where it, you know, that Gemini in me just wants to just bounce and has different facets of myself that, not everybody or everything can meet. And I'm sure that's normal. I mean, everybody deals with that. So maybe if you have ideas, or are people just not as aware of those different parts of themselves? So are you not as aware of them, or are you aware of them? And what do you do? I know integration helps with that. And sometimes it's just seeing it and being like, oh, it's okay. Kind of like the strength card with the lady with the lion. But, and I know I'm working on building up those parts of myself and being there for myself. And sometimes it's just hard to, I hope you guys are following me. I'm sorry if this is rambly, but sometimes it's hard to see too when you're just need to grow and grow your perspective versus when you're settling. Like, how do you know that line between this is just good for me and you need to calm that part of yourself versus when that's a part of you that needs to come out and be expressed, and do you ignore it? And I mean, I know you don't ignore it, you have to find a different way to express it, but you know, sometimes you want what you want, and having to like kind of suppress that part of you down. That's a little side note. I'm not going to go too much more on that. But for the most part, what I'm finding with this challenge that I did and then these energies lately is I have things just coming up in me. Like I'm even right now doing kind of like a sugar fast, unless it's, I eat very little sugars. I mostly eat keto right now. I should show you guys. I was going to show you, like I made this keto peanut butter pie with a chocolate ganache. I'm probably going to show you a piece of it just in a short video, just because it came out like awesome and it looks amazing and I'm just amazing like that. But sometimes I think about even doing videos like that, but I don't know. But where was I going? Oh, so even with things that are like keto sugar, like stevia or swerve or erythritol or whatever. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but it doesn't raise your sugar at all or anything. But I noticed that when I eat sweet things, especially when I kind of get in my little thing that I get in, I've started journaling so that I can watch with like, I want to see if I can correlate between the moons, my cycle days, my female cycle days, myself, just what's going on. I want to see if I can see a pattern. But I've noticed that when I eat stuff that is sweet, it tends to initiate like this hunger in me. And yes, I do tend to think about food or want to eat more during those times, but in reality, when I really think about it, it's not actually the food. That's just my patterns that I'm used to and trying to break out of. It actually it brings this hunger drive in me. And that may not be bad if you have healthy patterns. I'm trying to break out of unhealthy patterns. So it tends to make me, because I have a self-sabotaging way where I won't do the things that I know I need to do or that I want to do. And something about me tells me I have to, and it's like I don't want to, even though I do. I hope that makes sense. I become uncomfortable when I don't, and I feel better when I do them. But instead of that, I'll be like, oh, I just want to stay here and hang out or do this, and oh, I'll just eat. And even though it's like somewhat healthy stuff, it's still like perpetuating this cycle. And it's really not the food. It's that my body is creatively wanting something more. It has this drive to want to do something else. And instead of going to do that, I do things that aren't good for me. So right now, I'm trying to pull back and do kind of like a fast to reset and rebalance myself, get everything back in perspective for myself. And then maybe once I start to eat it, hopefully if that drive starts coming back up, I will already be in a good habit and a good pattern to where that drive will just fuel me with what I'm already doing. Fingers crossed, that's what happens. If not, and it starts to sabotage me again, then I'm just going to have to know that I'm going to have to limit things for like certain occasions and just know what my weaknesses are. But I don't know. That's just really what I'm finding about myself. And for me, the Aquarius new moon is really highlighting that. It's really highlighting so many things about myself and so many things about my life that it's just like enough's enough. It needs to go. It needs to change. I don't want certain aspects of myself. I don't want to hold myself back anymore. There's so many things I want and so many things that I feel that's coming and so many things that I'm manifesting, and that the universe is actually like, here, yes, good job. You're doing a good job. Here you go. And I'm not acting like I'm ready for it. It's like, I'm ready for it. I want it. And then it comes and I'm like, whoa. You know, I can see that as like a guy who is like, no, I want love. And they go after people. And then as soon as someone comes in and gives them the love they want, they're like, whoa. And it scares them off. It's like the same mentality. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I want to be receptive. I want to be able to like embrace the blessings that come my way. I don't want to sabotage myself anymore. I don't care if I'm a little all over the place, because I can actually use that to my benefit. And then the other people that aren't okay with that, like, I don't care, because for one, this is my life. And for two, most of the time, the people who actually it bothers is like they're rigid. They want things to go a certain way, or they like didn't get what they want. And that's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. Everybody has the right to like live their own way. Not that I really have a lot of people have a problem with it, but it is though affecting me in ways that there are certain things I want in my life, and it's blocking me. I mean, for one, I think I get bored a little bit really easy. And that's the thing I'm trying to figure out, is whether or not am I truly bored, or is my certain thought process sabotaging me because it quickly turns to a feeling of responsibility. And then that becomes boring. And even that is something I could work on in my mind, because responsibility really isn't all that boring, especially not if you look at your perception on it. It is something I'm choosing to do for the most part. People don't make me do things. And honestly, there's good and bad that comes along with things that you really want. You can't pick and choose like, I want this, but not this. Plus, it is those things that make your character, that make you have a sense of achievement. It's actually a very addictive pattern of me to like expect and want it always to be great, but it's like, I don't want this other stuff that goes along with it, but I can't even say it's just that, because even the good stuff of it, my brain is like telling me, oh, I don't want to have to do this. Oh, I'd rather do this instead. And it's like, I don't want to do that other thing. It actually makes me very uncomfortable, or I get really anxious, or my body hurts, or I don't know, like, so it's just really bringing up this something, and I'm not sure yet. There's this naggy part, or like I want what I can't have. I mean, that kind of comes to my mind too, because you know, why do I want something? I don't know, it makes you wonder, like, is it that you want it and then when you have it, you can't? Or, I mean, you want it, but then when you have it, you don't want it? Or did you not really want it? I mean, I guess you could probably, that's probably circumstantial. I think really a lot of times it's like, I want to be able to do what I want when I want to do it and have it go the way I want it to. And it's very entitled. It's very entitled. It's very like young child. It's childish. Really. It's childish. And that's okay. You know, I have compassion for that part of myself, but I need to know also how to mother that part of myself. Maybe, honestly, even father that part of myself. And I think that's what I struggle with a lot too, because I didn't really grow up, a lot with my dad, really a lot in my life. And, I didn't really have a lot of great, like, male, role models in my life either. Especially in the action-based part where it goes, because that's really what I'm really needing to work on within myself, is that taking action part, and that just going, balancing with the feminine and the receptive and taking care of myself, but really the taking action part, the discipline, the responsibility, all the stuff that you would look at in a lot of ways that typically the father role would teach the child. And I think that's where I think I'm being affected a little bit. Maybe even why I went after certain types of guys, where they had that almost action-based parts of themselves, where part of me was seeking that type of nurturing or seeking that type of structure. It doesn't usually work out so well, though, when you do it as far as, like, mates. Maybe, but I don't know, most of the ones that I found, too, that were like that, because I was out of balance, they were also out of balance. Also, I wasn't totally receptive of it. I didn't see it at the time, and so I would butt against it, you know, with my ego, and not take the lessons that I could and take them for what they were and learn from them and allow them to grow that part of myself. I hope you guys are following me. If not, I don't know, whatever. But so now it's like I'm having to learn how to do this on my own. So not only learn how to parent myself and father myself, but really to learn how to be a man to father myself, being a woman, you know? So, because when I look at a lot of those attributes as I'm sitting here talking, those are very masculine qualities for the most part. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, no, it's feminine. It is. But as far as spirituality and energy goes, yes, women can take action too, but they have the balance with the receptive, and the action is normally masculine. So, sorry, I feel like I'm like right on the cusp of something, but I don't think I'll ever figure it out, honestly. I think it's one of those things that you just do it, you know, like you just notice it and you start doing it and you start making a difference and you just keep moving forward. And if you find yourself, you know, starting to sabotage it again, you stop it right there and you start, you get going again. And hopefully over time, the sabotaging becomes shorter and shorter and smaller. And hopefully you can develop like new neural pathways to where your brain really sees things differently. I don't know. Maybe it would even benefit me to like find like a male mentor, or coach or something. I don't know, to kind of see more of a masculine way. Because that's, I think, what makes it hard for me to learn too, you know, being honest, is most of the masculines that I come in contact with like that, they would either be dating material or, you know, something of a sexual suitor or something like that. And that's really hard to keep your ego out of that as much. So maybe if I could find somebody that is not, you know, and then that, you get what I'm saying. So then that way I can just like fully look at their way and their way of doing things, like a father role, really. I mean, I know there's that whole child-father attraction. Was that like Freudian? I don't know. But like you would have had as a child, seeing, you know, your father and hopefully they're action-based and balanced, and a lot of people's aren't, and that's why there's a lot of issues in the world. But so I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm either going to have to develop this myself. Maybe there's a way to channel this. I don't really know. But if not, maybe it would actually benefit me to seek like a male coach or a male mentor or something. Because this is a lot of stuff that's being shown to me where I'm kind of blocking these parts of myself and just doing actions that are not benefiting me, that I don't want to do, and my brain just really stays stuck on it, and it's almost like I'm really gonna have to like go at change or battle that part of myself that it just so strongly is, it's trying to stay the way it is now. You know, it's like, and I am farther along now than I was before, so I am taking steps and I have compassion with myself, and I'm okay as long as I'm somewhat moving forward. But I feel like there's something in it where it's really coming forth on what's holding me back, what's going on, just this whole enlightenment and how I want to manifest. What do I want? And what is not helping me anymore to get there? It's really time to like, it's time to step up. It's time to evolve. It's time to go into that next phase. And those things that are really blocking me, for the most part, is what I'm really seeing. Including maybe even not knowing. And somewhat being okay with that and still moving forward anyways. But for me especially, it's the fire energy I find I have a problem with, because I don't know how to channel that energy properly. I mean, I do somewhat like in my channel, but in my old ways, they weren't healthy for me. To be honest with you, I found my ways of channeling that type of passionate, creative fire energy is like either food, obsessive patterns, maybe even flirting or communication, or just watching other things, like being in almost like a fantasy, not real land, like watching videos or things, or daydreaming. Like I daydream a lot too, and creating a reality, but one that really isn't realistic, really isn't good for me. And just realizing that I get tired of building my reality in my dream. I want to build my reality in this 3D life, and that's what it's really trying to push me to do. I know this all sounds like kind of crazy. It is what it is. This is me. So I just want to start to really like, and I am, like, you could tell it's already starting to manifest and come in, but the things that aren't working because it's actually starting to come and manifest are really being shown and highlighted that needs to go. I feel like I'm kicking a dead horse at this point. So I don't know if there's really anything else I can say about this, except I feel like these are the energies that are going on right now. I know we're more still in the new moon phase, but we're kind of right in between the new moon and the full moon. And we're still in the manifestation part. but I can feel that very Virgo, even full moon kind of coming in with I haven't gotten quite critical yet, but I'm more and more getting that anxious feeling of the stuff that needs to be done, needing to do it, needing to correct it, needing to take care of myself, cleanse myself, detox myself, eat better, work out more, like refine things and build. While the new moon Aquarius is really doing this whole enlightening thing, it's been very strong this month. I can feel so much also, like just in my crown and my third eye and just my head and my ears. It has a lot, like when you ride a plane and it pops and stuff, you need to clear the pressure. And just really becoming aware and dissatisfied with those things that are keeping me from basically my ascension and moving forward into the new way. So I don't know if I have anything more to say on this. I kind of wanted to do the update on the challenge. That's my update on the challenge. I have started having to come back and reroute back to doing at least a certain type of exercise every day or almost every day. So that I am starting to get back to, because I've had to work out a bunch of other, like I said, when I do challenges, it's not that it always turns out that way. It's that it illuminates things to me. So I very much have seen a lot of my patterns, a lot of my ways, a lot of the stuff that's blocking me, and somewhat as to why and what I want to change, and just getting to this level of frustration that I don't want it anymore. It's not serving me anymore. And I guess in a way I'm ready to take that part off, that outfit off of what was. I hope that makes sense. I don't feel like this is super flowy like normal, but I don't know if I'm really channeling this. I think this is me. But yeah, that's my biggest thing I'm working on, is responsibility and discipline and taking action. And I've gotten a lot better than I was in the beginning. And it's something that I'm having to build, because I've really never been in this boat. I've always either had to do something or been told to do something, or I was in fear, so I did it because of that. So when you kind of take the fear aspect away, or you don't have to, and I know some people may not have a problem with this, theirs may be shown in other ways, but for me, when it comes to like doing something purely just because I want to, or it's what's best for me, or honestly, another thing that's a big thing about it is when you are pushed to have to do something, or told you have to do something, and you're staying in a way within those confinements, it doesn't really push you. It does a little bit, but there's a ceiling on that. So eventually it stops pushing you. You stop growing to some degree. But when you really especially do things that start stepping out of the matrix, and you realize that there is no limit, that it is limitless, it really tests you. And it really pushes you in so many ways to have to grow and do things in your perception and your actions, and just the reality of your world and who you are, and stepping out of that box that at one time you never realized was your own confinement, that in a lot of ways actually you built. And it was safe and it was cozy until it's not safe and cozy anymore. And you had spent so many years telling yourself that that was safe and cozy, whatever it may be. This comes in so many ways. and you've got to push yourself and move out of it and grow and find different parts of yourself and go through trial and error and learn who you are. I mean, this is literally the journey that I'm describing. This is that work. This is that stuff a lot of people don't want to do. And it sucks because I have my twins that one of them is like, no, I still didn't sign up for this. I still don't want to do this. Like, I don't know what you're doing. And the other one is like, come on, it's going to be fun. It's going to be so much better than what we're doing. Like, you're being a square. You're a loser. You're not fun. Let's go have fun. Let's be a child. Let's explore. Let's see what we could do. And the other one's like, I'm good. Like, you haven't convinced me yet. So I guess, you know, it shows integration. Like, they're just both, maybe they're both not on board. I don't know, but I can feel them, and they want similar but yet different things. And, you know, even with people, like, on one hand, I want, like, something very loving and committed and stable and blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, I want something that's fun and exciting and sexy and raunchy and naughty, to be honest. I mean, not only do I have Gemini in me, but I am a Taurus at the same time. So the two biggest things that's going to get a Taurus is food and sex. I mean, it is what it is. So, and with Scorpio's opposite sign. So, I mean, and Geminis are very fun and creative and light and airy and sexy, and I don't know. I'm very deep, but on the same time, I'm very like, woo. So, I don't know. I hope this helps somebody. I don't even know. But I just felt drawn to do it, and it's kind of like an update for my challenge to, maybe somebody else has some ideas for me, or maybe something I've said helps you, or maybe it's just like, oh, okay, so that's the energies going on right now. Now I know I'm kind of feeling the way I am, so that's good. But I love you guys. I hope this helps in some way. Thanks for listening. If you are, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you happen to find this video outside of being a subscriber to my channel, so I put out different types of videos. But I hope everybody's hanging in there and doing good with these energies, and just keep moving. You know, as you see stuff, you feel like it's almost like in this way, like, because of all this that's being illuminated, it almost feels like you're regressing. That's exactly what it's like. It's like you're regressing. Because maybe even you thought you left some stuff behind. You know what I mean? Some patterns, some ways, or whatever. And they're coming back. They're being illuminated. Either the same or even more so than they were before you thought you got rid of them. And it's like, nope, they're there. There's the cycle. And you're like, oh, you know, and then, you know, it's either why it's there is being illuminated, or that it is, or that you've got to do something different. You're like, oh, I thought I was past this. Like, you're not regressing. It's just that maybe you lost a portion of it, or there's still some part there or whatever. And it's just coming up again to help you work through, or maybe see a little bit deeper into, maybe even to convince you that it's time. Maybe it's to get your other twin on board. I don't know. But I love you guys. I hope this helps, like I said. I think I'm going to end this here because I think this pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to say and the energies that are going on. But there's so much stuff changing and so many shifts that I can feel, and oh my god, and even like the Mars and the Uranus is about to come right back into Taurus, and I mean, that's another thing within me, so I don't know if everybody has that, but I can just feel that. And maybe that's why, actually. Maybe that's why it's getting me to do, like, kind of like the sugar or sweetness fast or whatever, is because it's really getting me, that makes sense. It's really getting me to regather myself, pull myself back together, and get my focus right. because I can feel that hunger and that yearning, especially, you know, the creative sexual drive coming up and firing up again. And it's like it wants me to like do it right or do it better this time and focus where it needs to go, and that I can't be putting all my energy into all these things that don't matter or are not serving my main goal. So I think I might start doing that too. I signed up for this, I forgot the name of it, this course where it really helps you harness and break out of your box and build the things you want and hold yourself accountable and stuff. I didn't know that's what it was when I signed up for it, but when I started looking into it, I was like, oh, this is perfect actually for what I need. And it makes you write down every day, like your gratitude list, your ask list, your goals, your actions, a lot of the things I preach, but in a more well-rounded way, and it's actually making me actually have to do it. So I started like journaling and writing everything down so I can see my patterns, and actually writing down my goals and what actions are going to get me there. And then I'm going to add in what I'm doing if I'm not, just to keep myself. I think it even has like a, what is it called? An accountability buddy. I don't know, but that you don't really get together like, did you do what you do? Like, that's not what you do. There's other stuff you do, and it's really cool, and it helps just every week bring you back to alignment and what your goals are and what you want. And because it's so easy in this world to get sidetracked, especially for somebody like me, like I bounce around a lot. I have a lot of things going on. I want to do everything. I want to be in everything. I want to experience everything. Like, on some hand, I get bored easy, and I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if that's true or that's just my perception. I'll keep you updated. I don't know. Like I said, as I walk through this journey and I figure things out, I share, and if it helps, it helps. If not, I get it out. Sometimes I figure things out, and this is me, you know what I mean? Like I said, I say all the time, like, I'm still in my healing process. I'm still always working through things. Anybody who tells you otherwise, no matter where they're at in their life, please don't follow them. Just saying. But anyways, I know I keep saying this. I love you guys. I hope all is well. Enjoy and hang in there through these energies, because on one hand, they're challenging, but on the other hand, it's amazing. Just watch your perspective. So I love you guys. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.